The delayed diagnosis has quite frankly meant the difference between life and death. It is now terminal cancer. They were unable to remove all of it. So I'm now, in my words, on death row. My story started in summer of 2019 when I'd gone in for a medical procedure and I'd had an x-ray taken. The next thing that happened was winter of 2020 when I asked to see my gynae consultant because I felt that my cancer had perhaps returned. And that was a definite no, everything's fine, everything's okay. So life progressed for me, and then in 2021 I complained to my GP that I think the cancer had returned. And he fast-tracked me and ended up seeing my consultant at Bexley Wing. And yes, the ovarian cancer had come back, and this time it was with a vengeance. And what my options were, it would be major operation, it would be the insertion of a stoma, and probable terminal cancer. Then at the next meeting, he told me that he had a duty of candour. God knows what that means, but it turns out that my cancer had actually been identified in June 2019. If they'd have treated me in June 2019, it would have been simple chemotherapy and maybe maintenance over a long period. But nobody bothered to report on it. So my cancer was growing, it had become very aggressive, and it ended up with this major operation, which also included a stoma. My husband and I were devastated. You know, this is my third time with cancer. We didn't know what to do. We sort of followed through. I had the operation. I got over that quite successfully. And I had the chemo, and that again was mainly successful. And then I identified this alien in my body, my stoma. It took an awful lot of getting used to it. I stopped going out with my friends, and learning to live with all this was so difficult. My entire life had just changed dramatically. I didn't really give a lot of thought at the beginning. I was so wrapped up in what was happening to me and what was happening to my husband and I and to my friends and I. And then I think I sort of got my business head back on, and I contacted Slater and Gordon, and John was assigned to my case, John Lowther, and he has been he's been brilliant. He's been supportive. He knows the law inside out, upside down and back to front. He's guided me. He's dealt with me empathetically. He understands my situation. It's a terminal diagnosis. I do officially have terminal cancer. I don't want to die. I'm not ready to go yet. But I am literally on death row. The execution date hasn't yet been set. And if I have my way, it won't be for a while. Nobody knows when they're going to die. But I have an idea that my death could be imminent. The one thing that I know for sure is the last thing that I want to see is my husband's face. I'll be in bed and I'll be laid with him, and that is all I want. I don't want my friends to see me. They know me as this larger-than-life, bubbly, vivacious character. I want them to remember me like that. Every day is a blessing to me. Doesn't matter if I can't get up, if I have a gym jam day and I can't be bothered doing anything, it's still another day that I'm around to pester my husband, my friends, and everybody else. But life does go on, and I'm determined to go as far as I can. I feel very bitter about the people that initially caused the error, and I feel that somehow they must be made to pay for it. Everything about what we were planning to do, where we were planning to go, how we were planning to go, have all been just brushed aside, and we've had to readapt to a new life with this black cloud of I'm dying. I've had to come to terms with it. I have counselling. My husband is supportive. I have a wonderful support of my friends. I want to live. But that choice has now been taken out of my hands by one simple mistake. I was initially told 3 months to a year, but I'm 2 years this December, so I know that I'm really pushing my luck now. Life and death, it shouldn't have been like that. If it had been dealt with in the summer of 2019, I wouldn't have had that consideration, but I have. And that has made a massive difference to my life and to my life with my husband. Is anybody counting the number of people that are damaged and how far that damage extends? You throw a stone in the lake and it ripples out. And it is very far reaching. And that's what's happened with me and with my husband. One tiny little error, and it's rippled out so big that my whole life has changed direction.